So today we are celebrating 102nd birthday of our beloved Guruji, Acharya Bade Bante Ji, Acharya Buddharakkhita Bante Ji. So we celebrate his birthday as Dhammapda festival, as Dhammapda day. So Dhammapda is a very small book from Tipitaka. So this Dhammapda has many beautiful verses, stanzas, which are filled with beautiful words of the Buddha, and it has 26 chapters dealing with different topics, like it tells about mind, how mind works. You can get information regarding mind, what is the nature of the mind. So there is a whole chapter on mind, and then there is a chapter on unwise person. Who is a unwise person? So Dhammapda it has explanation about this chapter about unwise person. Then there is a chapter on wise person. So it tells who is the wise. Regarding wise, if you wanted to know about who is the right person, who is the wise person, then you can read the Dhammapda book. So by reading this book, our beloved Guruji, Most Venerable Acharya Buddharakkhita Bante Ji, became a monk. He was in the search of truth. He was searching noble Dhamma with his friend Venerable Sangharakshita, his old friend. They were traveling throughout India in search of Dhamma, in search of truth. They also meditated in Ramana Masi's center. When our Guruji was there, he was meditating on a mountain. There he had some different experiences regarding his past life. He saw that he was a monk in his previous life in Tibet. And then he stood up and he went to the library. He found a very small book, that is Dhammapda. And when he took that book, he saw the very first verses, the very first stanza, first verse, which tells about the mind, the nature of the mind. In that Gatha, it says that the mind is the forerunner of all the objects. So there are different objects of the mind. Mind has different mental factors, concomitants. So mind is the very first who can, like the first that arises without any, in many cases it can arise by itself without taking help of different mental factors. So that is why Buddha said Manu Pubbangama Dhamma. The mind is the forerunner of all the objects. And he said in the second line, Manu Setha Manomaya. The mind is the chief. Why it is chief? Because mind is like the thief of a group. There are many thieves in a group, but all thieves have one leader. They go according to the leader's command, according to the leader's advice. So the leaders of thieves considered as chief of all thieves. Similarly, the mind is also considered as chief of all other objects. That is why the mind is chief, Buddha said. And Manomaya, all things are made by the mind. Whatever we hear, the first thing, like the reactions, when the reactions comes, it is made by mind. Liking, disliking, craving, or hating, or jealousy, many other things. They are mind made. Then the Buddha said, whatever person does by impure mind, with this impure mind, when one does actions or one speak, then the suffering follows him just as the wheels follows the foot of ox. After reading this verse, beloved Guruji changed. He became so cleared and very sure about his future and what will be the vision of his future life, what will be the practice. Then he decided, after reading this verse, he decided that he will become a Buddhist monk. Then, in search of a preceptor, a Buddhist monk, he went throughout, like through many people, and then people informed that there is one monk in Kusinara, a renowned monk from Burma, Most Venerable Chandamani Mahathiro Banteji. He was from Burma, he was staying in Kusinara. Then after hearing this, beloved teacher took the path, direction towards Kusinara. So, as he may forget the path, so that is why he took railway track as his path to direct towards Kusinara. And he walked towards Kusinara. He started his journey towards Kusinara by walking itself, and he reached there. After reaching there, Bhante Guruji wanted to ordination, but Chandamani Bhanteji did not give ordination easily. So he was seeing him, he was observing beloved Guruji. Then Venerable Guruji took 8 precepts by himself and started meditation, sitting meditation whole day in the meditation. He spent his whole day in meditation. Then Most Venerable Mahathiro Chandamani Bhanteji convinced that this fellow is sincere about practice. Then Venerable Mahathiro Bhanteji gave ordination to our Guruji, Buddharakkhita Bhanteji. After taking this ordination, Chandamani Bhanteji sent him to Nepal for the Dhamma tour. And after coming from the Dhamma tour, he was sent to Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, he studied Dhamma under renowned teachers, Most Venerable Ridukane Chandabimala Bhante, who was a great Dhamma teacher, Vinaya teacher. And there are some other teachers, like there was a great scholar monk from German. His name was Most Venerable Jnanatuloka Mahathera, who was Pali teacher of our beloved Guruji. Under his guidance, our beloved Guruji learned Pali language and Dhamma. Like this, he underwent with different kind of teachings, learning, and then he planned to visit. He was invited by government of Burma to study in Burma. The government of Burma provided him scholarship. So he went Burma for his higher studies, studying Abhidhamma and related to Abhidhamma like Patthana Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma is specific teaching on mind and matter. So he went for this higher studies in Burma. He learned Patthana under Mula Patthana Sayadaw. There was a great scholar monk who has mastery over Patthana on Abhidhamma. Guruji learned that Abhidhamma under his guidance, the method of Patthana. And then he also participated in great Sixth Council of Buddhists. There, he was one of the assistant editor of Tipitaka. He did editing of Anguttara Nikaya, and he was also awarded later he was also awarded with highest title of Burmese, Abhidaja Aggamaha Saddama Jyotika. Then he also practiced meditation under Most Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw, one of the great meditation master of that time. He was one of the our Guruji was one of the main meditator. Like Bhante Mahasi Sayadaw has around 54 to 55 student meditators. Among them, our beloved Bhanteji was one of them. So he returned after his completing education in Burma. He returned back to the India. He joined to Most Venerable Jagdish Kashyap Bhanteji, who was founder of Nava Nalanda University, and who was the person suggested to Bada Bhanteji to go Burma, to go Sri Lanka, and he also helped our Guruji. So that is why Bada Bhanteji joined Nava Nalanda University. He taught Abhidhamma there in Pali language. Then after some time he thought that it will not help him to propagate, to teach Buddha's teaching, to spread Buddha's teaching in this way. Then he decided to do some work for Buddha Sasana, and he came back to Bodh Gaya under the Bodhi tree. He meditated there with the determination that may I get a vision in my life so I can do something for the Buddha Sasana, to spread Buddha Sasana, to spread the message of the Buddha to all the Indians, all the people of India. With this vision, he seated under the Bodhi tree. Then he met a niece of Anagarika Dhammapda. Her name was Mona Singhe. So she gave the land of Bangalore to our Guruji. Then in 1956, Guruji started Mahabodhi Society of Bangalore. He founded this society, and then this is how he started Dhamma teaching. Every Sunday Dhamma discourses, and he used to go for dana service in the hospitals. Then he conducted many Pali classes and meditation classes for the people like you who visit temple on every Sundays. Like that, Bada Bhanteji also conducted Pali classes and meditation classes for the people. And then he started monastic trainings and institutions for boys, girls, and monastery for the monks. So this is the contribution of our beloved Guruji, and he inspired by Dhammapda. So he wanted that Dhammapda should be known by all the peoples. It is a guidebook for the people to live in a right way. They can give direction to their mind for happy and well-being. So that is why we are celebrating this Dhammapda day, to promote or to tell what is the importance of Dhammapda. So with this short message about Guru Bhanteji, Bada Bhanteji, I conclude here, and we will see the documentary of our beloved Guru Bhanteji, Bade Bhanteji. So with this I conclude here. Sadhu,